Welcome back to the Coins Numismatic Series, where history meets value, and the smallest coins sometimes carry the biggest surprises. Let's uncover their hidden value and the compelling stories behind them. 1990 Lincoln Penny 1-cent coin with mint mark D and fine condition. The 1990 Lincoln Penny might appear quite ordinary at first glance, a typical copper-plated zinc cent, with Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But beneath its simple surface lies a rich blend of historical significance, production quirks, and collector intrigue that elevate this Denver-minted coin into the ranks of coins worth far more than just a cent. To understand the 1990 penny, we must go back to its place in the greater Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909 with the centennial of Lincoln's birth. By 1990, the Lincoln Memorial reverse design had already been in circulation for over 3 decades, introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. The obverse remained the same. Lincoln's enduring portrait by Victor David Brenner, the longest-running portrait in U.S. coinage history. But by 1990, major shifts had already taken place in how Lincoln cents were minted. The composition had changed in 1982 from the traditional 95% copper to a cheaper copper-plated zinc format due to rising copper prices. This shift altered not only the coin's feel and weight, but its long-term durability and susceptibility to damage, making well-preserved examples even more desirable. The 1990 penny was part of this zinc era, weighing 2.5 grams and bearing the telltale D mint mark beneath the year to signify its Denver mint origin. What truly sets the 1990 apart in the eyes of collectors is not just its design or composition, but the subtle error and rarity potential surrounding the 1990 OS proof penny, a version struck in San Francisco that omitted the mint mark. While that error doesn't directly relate to the 1990, it drew enormous attention to all 1990 dated cents, making collectors scrutinize them more carefully. This increased attention helped elevate the visibility of the Denver minted version as well, especially in high-grade or error-laden forms. In fine condition, a 1990 penny typically shows light circulation wear, particularly on Lincoln's cheek and jawline, as well as slight flattening of the steps on the Lincoln Memorial reverse. While this condition isn't rare, it remains highly collectible for enthusiasts trying to complete day 10 mint mark sets, especially since high mint state examples are much harder to come by in copper-plated zinc coins, which wear more easily than their older copper counterparts. In terms of mintage, the 1990 was produced in massive numbers, over 4.9 billion coins, which might seem to reduce its collectible appeal at first. But within that vast output lies a fascinating spectrum of strike qualities, plating anomalies, die deterioration, and double dies that make certain specimens stand out. For example, some collectors have reported die crack varieties in 1990 pennies, particularly running along Lincoln's shoulder or across the memorial's columns. These subtle errors can command premiums depending on their visibility and uniqueness. Additionally, zinc cents are notoriously prone to bubbling beneath the copper plating, a result of poor adhesion during minting. While technically these are minting flaws, some error collectors consider strong examples of plating blisters or missing copper areas to be collectible anomalies, especially on coins from the late 1980s and early 1990s when quality control fluctuated. Now let's talk market value. In average circulated condition, a 1990 penny is typically worth face value. However, even in fine condition, slightly better than the norm, collectors may pay between 10 and 25 cents for a clean example with even color and no corrosion. Step up to AU about uncirculated or MS mint state grades, and values rise accordingly. An MS65 red specimen can fetch $5 to $10, and superb GIMPs graded MS67 RD by PCGS or NGC can sell for $100 or more, largely because they are difficult to find in such pristine condition due to the softness of the copper plating and how easily it gets scratched or oxidized. Beyond condition and errors, collector interest in the 1990 is tied to nostalgia and historical resonance. Many collectors today grew up using these coins. They're part of lunch change, school trips, and vending machine memories. That emotional connection plays a surprisingly strong role in driving demand, especially for coins that evoke a certain era. The 1990 penny is both a relic of pre-digital America and a humble ambassador of its economic history. In short, the 1990 Lincoln penny might be modest in appearance, but its story is layered with changes in materials, attention sparked by a proof coin error, and the subtle intrigue of minting imperfections. For numismatists, it's a reminder that value doesn't always scream in bright gold or silver. Sometimes, it whispers from the pocket change we overlook. 1998 Lincoln Penny 1-cent coin, without mint mark and normal condition. The 1998 Lincoln Penny without a mint mark represents the Philadelphia Mint's contribution to one of the most enduring series in American coinage, and while it might seem like a routine cent, its context, quirks, and collector value make it worth much more than a passing glance. By 1998, the Lincoln Memorial Reverse had been in use for nearly 40 years, and Lincoln's profile was as familiar to Americans as the face of the Statue of Liberty. The coin itself followed the copper-plated zinc standard introduced in 1982, making it light in hand and relatively cheap to produce. Its specifications were standard: 2.5 grams in weight, 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and a smooth edge. The absence of a mint mark signifies it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a common practice for cents, since Philadelphia did not mark coins with a P on cents at the time. Still, to collectors, the absence of a mint mark doesn't mean absence of value. In fact, some of the most intriguing 1998 cents are Philadelphia issues. The 1998 Lincoln Penny has gained notable collector attention due to one specific variety, the 1998 Wide AM. Normally, on the reverse of Lincoln cents from 1993 to 2008, the AM in America appears close together, almost touching. But in 1998, a small number of coins were struck with a proof reverse die, resulting in a wide AM spacing that was never intended for circulation. This tiny detail, the gap between the A and the M, transformed these error coins into numismatic celebrities. So while the 1998 cent in normal condition may seem mundane, there's always the chance it could be a rare wide AM variety. These can fetch anywhere from $10 to $500 depending on grade. That potential drives collectors to examine every 1998 cent they encounter. In terms of production numbers, the 1998 Lincoln cent had a huge mintage. Over 5.8 billion were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But just like the 1990D, mintage alone doesn't tell the whole story. Within those billions lie opportunities for double dies, die clashes, off-center strikes, and other mint errors that collectors actively hunt. There have been reports of minor double dies on the obverse, especially in Lincoln's year or the date. While these aren't dramatic, any confirmed double die from this period is worth a premium. From a market value perspective, a 1998 penny in normal circulated condition is still generally worth only face value. However, clean, reddish examples with full details and no corrosion can sell for 5 to 15 cents in fine condition. Higher grade specimens, especially uncirculated red cents graded MS65 or higher, can bring $5 to $20, and if the coin happens to be the wide AM variety, even in normal condition, it can suddenly leap in value, depending on visibility and preservation. Collectors value the 1998 penny not just for its errors, but also for what it represents, the closing years of the Memorial Reverse, which would be replaced by the bicentennial designs in 2009. As the end of a numismatic era, these late 90 cents hold a nostalgic charm for those who want to complete their Lincoln Memorial collections. The 1998 No Mint Mark penny is also notable for its place in school collections and young numismatist starter kits. It's often one of the first coins examined under a magnifier by beginners, especially due to the potential for discovering a wide AM or minor variety. That accessibility makes it a gateway coin, easy to find, rich with learning value, and packed with potential surprises. In summary, the 1998 Lincoln penny without a mint mark may look like just another cent, but don't be fooled. From error varieties to unexpected demand and the sheer joy of the hunt, it remains one of the more dynamic coins from the Lincoln Memorial Series. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this unassuming cent is worth more than meets the eye.